Hi, I'm Jeff from New York. Please like and subscribe.
Young Billionaire, Episode 83, He is a Worthless Person. To help Elisa feel better, Remlin pointed at Jeff and said harshly,
"Are you blind? Elisa asked you out and you actually turned her down? I guess you must realize you're not good enough for her."
Jeff didn't know what to say. Remlin was wrong in her assumption, but he couldn't agree to go out with Elisa.
Give me a reason.
Elisa said with a smile as she tried to suppress her disappointment.
I already have a girlfriend.
He said with a shrug. Regardless of whether Elisa was sincere about her feelings or not, he would not mess around. Hearing this explanation, Elisa felt a little better. It wasn't that he didn't like her, it also proved that he was a good man, that he was a man that she could admire.
So what if you have a girlfriend? I bet I'm as good as her. Maybe if you go out with me for a while, you'll find that you prefer me to your girlfriend.
Elisa's eyes lit up again.
No need. I love my girlfriend. I said that I'll protect her forever.
Lelane's face appeared in Jeff's mind, and he smiled. Elisa was shocked when she saw his smile. It seemed genuine.
I want to meet your girlfriend and see how beautiful she is, and to want to see for myself how much you love her.
Elisa said with a small smile. In her heart, however, she knew that she was jealous.
She's at work now, not at school.
At that moment, Jeff's cell phone rang. It was Lelaine.
Lelaine, is something wrong? Oh, good. Of course. You can call me whenever you like. That's great. If you listen to your teacher, you'll definitely improve. All right, I'll pick you up this afternoon. Bye.
Jeff hung up the phone. Seeing the blissful look on his face while he was speaking to his girlfriend, Elisa was envious of her.
It sounds like you guys really love each other.
She said, and she smiled, but there is envy in her heart.
But don't think that I'm going to give up that easily. In my opinion, you're only with her because you met her first.
I've made it very clear that I'll take care of her for the rest of her life. Please stay away from me.
Jeff said rudely.
You're having a go at me now. It doesn't matter though. You'll make it up to me in the future.
Elisa remained calm, and she smiled confidently, but inside she was seething.
You.
Jeff had never met a woman like Elisa before. She didn't even react when he was rude to her. She was so determined to win him over. He wondered how he could ever get rid of her.
Just please forget it and let me go.
He said as he stared at her in desperation.
Are you begging me?
Elisa asked proudly, looking at Jeff's angry face. She rolled her eyes and revealed a sly smile.
You want me to let you go? Sure, but you have to promise me one thing.
What?
Jeff would do anything to get rid of her.
Accompany me to a party and tell everyone that you're my boyfriend.
She stared into his eyes and continued.
Don't worry, it's just an act. But you have to pretend to everyone at the party that we're together.
Okay, I'll do it.
He nodded.
Aren't you going to tell me your name?
Elisa asked.
Jeff.
She asked him for his phone number.
Then I'll see you tomorrow. Just wait for me at the entrance of your school.
Elisa stood up and waved at him with a smile. Jeff said goodbye, turned around and left. Watching him leave, Elisa lowered her head slightly with a smile. He had agreed to go to the party with her, and she felt very pleased with herself. Remlin had heaved a sigh of relief when she heard Elisa say that she only wanted Jeff to pretend to be her boyfriend. She said,
"Elisa, I'm relieved. For a while there I thought you really liked that loser. Luckily you figured it out in the end."
I do really like him.
Elisa replied as she recalled Jeff's handsome face.
What? Didn't you promise to let him go? You just asked him to pretend to be your boyfriend at the party.
Remlin looked surprised. Elisa revealed a sly smile as she muttered.
I don't think so. Once he spends some time with me at the party, he'll soon realize that I'm the one he wants to be with.
I give up. You really don't know what's good for you.
Remlin said helplessly.
Let's go.
As they were leaving, Elisa felt a twinge of pain in her ankle. This brought back the memory of Jeff squatting on the ground and rubbing her feet, and a smug smile appeared on her face. For the past 3 days, in addition to her usual lessons, Lelaine had also been training at the Brightness Star Music Company. She was no longer being bullied, and she had gradually started to relax. Jeff was relieved to see her confidence growing. On the day of the party, Jeff had dropped Lelaine off at Brightness Star Music and had just gotten back to the university campus when he received a call from Elisa telling him to go to the school gate. After ending the call, he went quickly to their meeting place, where he saw Elisa driving up in a BMW and waving at him. Remelin, who was sitting in the passenger seat, looked at him in disgust. She said,
Don't you have any decent clothes you could have worn? You do know who's going to be there today, don't you? They won't be able to stop laughing at you when they see you.
How about I don't go?
Jeff replied. He didn't take Remelin's words seriously. He also didn't care at all about this party or what the people there thought of him.
It's all right.
Elisa said with a smile.
He still looks handsome. Get in the car.
Jeff climbed into the back seat and Elisa started the car. When she pulled up at Green Island Garden District, Jeff was puzzled. He asked,
Why have you stopped here?
The party's in this district.
She replied sweetly.
You guys go ahead, and I'll park the car.
Jeff and Remelin got out of the car. He looked around him and thought,
Lucky that Lelaine went to music practice today. It would be a disaster if she saw me here with Elisa.
Remelin snorted when she saw Jeff looking around him. She laughed and said,
Oh, look at you, staring at the posh houses. You've never even been to such a good neighborhood as this before, have you?
Jeff glanced at her but didn't say anything. Remelin was dressed beautifully today. She looked even more sophisticated than last time Jeff had seen her. A few minutes later, Elisa had parked her car and walked over to them. Jeff noticed that she was also wearing particularly elegant clothes. Her hair was adorned with a dark purple bow, and she was wearing a long, light green dress. She wore high-heeled sandals at her feet, making her look elegant and beautiful. She looked like a Hollywood movie star, and Jeff couldn't help but admire her for a moment.
Let's go.
Elisa said with a smile when she saw Jeff's stunned expression. The three of them walked to the entrance of the residential complex. The gate to the district was closed, and only residents with key cards could enter. They waited for a long time, but no one came out. The girls started to worry. Jeff thought,
Well, it seems that I'm the only one who can get us in. Since we're here now, I might as well do it.
He pulled out his card, put it on the sensor, and the door opened with a beep. Elisa opened her eyes wide as she looked at Jeff. She asked,
How did you get a security card for this place?
She thought,
Is Jeff a resident of Green Island Garden? But this is one of the top residential areas in New York City.
Jeff hadn't expected such a strong reaction from Elisa. He regretted that he had revealed that he had a key card, but there was nothing he could do now. He could only nod up and down. He replied,
Actually, I live here.
Bullshit.
Remelin blurted out.
Jeff, do you really expect us to believe that you have a house here to take us for idiots? Even the cheapest house in the Green Island Garden costs more than $4 million. How could you ever afford that?
Jeff frowned as he looked at her. She continued,
You probably don't know that after you left the other day, Elisa and I went to your class and asked your classmates about you.
Remelin smiled at Jeff as if she saw straight through him.
Your tuition pays are paid by the state and by the school's poverty fund, and you cover your living expenses with part-time jobs. Your clothes are old and cheap, and your cell phone is secondhand.
Remelin and Elisa had indeed asked around about Jeff. They had learned quite a lot about him, but it wasn't the whole truth.
You expect us to believe that you live in Green Island Garden? How do you think we're that easy to deceive, or are you simply brainless?
Remelin asked bluntly. Jeff swallowed. What she said was true, but he wasn't lying either. He did indeed have a villa at Green Island Garden, and it was the most expensive villa on the complex.
Remelin.
Elisa stopped her from continuing. Her words were to mean,
Perhaps what he said is true.
She suggested. Elisa still had a glimmer of hope in her heart. She wanted to believe that Jeff wasn't lying to her.
Really? Elisa, don't be ridiculous. I'm guessing that he must work part-time in this district, which is why he has the key card.
Remelin laughed and pointed at the office. At the door, she looked at Alex and said,
How about we go and ask the office if you're resident? They're sure to recognize you.
Jeff didn't say anything. He didn't care what Remelin or Elisa thought of him, so why make things any more complicated? He still didn't want them to know how rich he was. He frowned to himself. looked at the sky and didn't say anything.
See? He's a liar.
Remelin felt certain that she had seen through Jeff's lies. She smiled proudly at Elisa, who sighed loudly. She was disappointed, but tried to console herself that Jeff didn't lie often. It wasn't a big problem for her. Remelin continued to lecture Jeff.
Don't think that I don't know what you're planning. I know you want to be with Elisa so you can live off her money, right?
She glared at him and continued.
Well, don't even try it with me around.
Remelin, stop it.
Elisa felt that her friend's words were unnecessarily mean. She just couldn't believe that Jeff was that kind of person. Embarrassed, she said to Jeff.
Don't listen to her. Remelin is just looking out for me. Let's go to the party. Everyone is probably already there.
The three of them walked into the district. August 2023. Top super thanks purchasers. Thank you so much.